Welcome back to FedBiz Exchange. I'm Michelle Brown, your coach and your mentor. In this video, I want to talk with you about 10 things you should never do in government contracting. You know the old saying, act as though, act as if you're already there. How you present yourself in business, whether it's government contracting or any industry where you want to do business. It's important for you to show up and remember who you are. You are branding yourself every time you show up. So let's talk about the 10 things you shouldn't do, but I want to tell you a couple of things first. First, understand that how we do business in the government contracting market represents us in the small business community. Why is that important? Because they don't know you. It's just like this says, I don't know who you are. I don't even know who I'm talking to. So they're judging you before they even get to know you, before you even bid on a solicitation. Keep that in mind. They don't know you. First impressions are everything. As I mentor many of you guys and talk with you in coaching sessions and training sessions, I realize that sometimes we look at the government market as a given. There are a lot of innuendos out there, things you should do. There are a lot of unprofessional things going on. And if you're with me, you guys know how straightforward I am. I'm going to tell you the truth. Although federal government desperately wants to work with small businesses, remember, they don't know you. So the way that you show up is very important, especially if it's before you bid. You have to show up right because they don't know you. And although they're required to get to know you, there are laws, federal laws that say they need to learn more about our industries, our ideas. But guess what? They're human and they have human instincts about people. People judge. It's as simple as that. First impressions are everything. Give them a reason to want to work with you. So, how do you do that? So here are the 10 things you should never do in government contracting. And remember, this is not a side hustle. This is big business. Your name, your reputation, your brand is important. And if you do some of these things, it can ruin you before you even get started. You know how I think, but I've never spelled it out this way because I see more and more out there, more behaviors that could hurt us with all of the progress that we've made, at least in my community. So, number one, remember, never contact a contracting officer using a non-business email. It's unprofessional unless you're incognito, unless you don't want them to know the question that you're asking and you don't want that question to be attached to your company. I say do that when you're not sure about the question you're asking. If you want to ask a question that is related to the contract, the scope of work, then ask that question. But if it's something that you're uncomfortable with asking, please don't use your professional business email. But if it's something that will help you get in the door, like a source's SOTS or a pre-solicitation, use your business email. If you don't have one, please get one. Get a domain name. You don't have to have a website, but use a business email. I love my Gmail too, even though they're all in our business. I don't like how we are doing business with these free email services, but Gmail works pretty well, but I don't use it, never, with government contracting. It's unprofessional. Number two, never contact a contracting officer unless you're responding to something they want to buy. That's their job. They buy things. They're supposed to talk to us when we market to them, but they don't. And I don't blame them. All they want to do is buy something. Do not try to talk to them if you're not trying to help them buy something. It's that simple. Number three, never contact a contracting officer just to market your business. It does not work. It goes in the trash or it goes in a file that they will probably never look at again. And on top of that, they probably won't even respond to you. They are so busy, they don't have time. The only people that get in front of them are the ones that respond to what they need. Number four, never send mass capability statements to contracting officers. They get hundreds of these weekly. They don't know you. They don't care. If it is not about what they're trying to buy, product or service, they are uninterested. Please don't embarrass yourself. Don't do it. Number five, never ask a question before you read the information posted. I see solicitations all the time and I look at the Q&As and I see people asking questions. No question is stupid, don't get me wrong, but they're asking questions that have already been answered. When you do this, it may make them question your capabilities. Now they have your company name. Number six, never try to sell an alternate product or service unless you're sure there's a problem with what they're asking for. So, unless you know that that product is no good anymore or it doesn't exist anymore, please don't try to sell it. Please don't bring it up. And if you bring it up, you should do it through the bidding process. Some of them, like the Veterans Administration, even DLA, will allow you to present alternate products, but do not attempt to present an alternate product if you have not done your homework about the product or the service that they're requesting. Number seven, never contact a contracting officer until you've done your due diligence. They will be impressed because if you've done your due diligence, your questions will make sense and they will respect you and they will be impressed by you and they will remember you. Remember, every time you open your mouth or write an email or send a message, no matter what you do, not just in government contracting, in any business, it leaves a first impression. I judge businesses all the time. These vendors that I may need to work with, I won't work with them if it is unprofessional. If you're trying to work with a supplier and they are not getting back to you, don't do business with them. I mean, I'm serious. A service, they don't get back with you, they don't send you a professional email, don't work with them because they will set you up for failure. This is your brand. All of this is your brand. Number eight, never email a contracting officer a long, drawn out email asking a question. Write it out before you send it. As experienced as I am not kidding. Every time I send a contracting officer an email, I think it through, I rewrite it if I need to, but I do not send random emails asking questions that I have not done my homework for before I send them an email. And I always, always, always make it short and to the point. Now, I do hate long emails. I do personally, but that's me. But I know how they think. It's not that they think these things through so carefully. It's that they are very busy and they get lost in the information. They don't know what you're trying to ask. Get straight to the point. And then make sure that it is a good email, one paragraph, or even 3 or 4 sentences. Make it clear, neat, professional, using your business email. Get to the point and then send it. Number 9, never ask a contracting officer how to do a contract job. You should know. You want the contract, don't you? Always do additional homework somewhere else. Always do additional homework somewhere else, meaning your due diligence before you talk to the contracting officer. Remember, you have to be ready to win because when you put yourself out there, you're going to win. when you are consistently putting yourself out there. Some of you guys don't believe me. I always tell people, be ready to win. Be ready to win. Don't worry about losing. Be ready to win. So before you ask a question, make sure you read the scope of work. And if you have a partner or someone on your team, have them read it as well. It works. And lastly, never expect a contracting officer to have all of the answers. It's a job to them. They are employees of the government. They are not entrepreneurs. They are not business people. They only know how to do their jobs. They don't know a lot of things. And we can't hold it against them, even though we're told that they should know those things. Okay? Don't expect them to know every single thing. They're human. They make mistakes or they don't know. Remember, their lives are similar to yours, except they have a job. You're an entrepreneur. It's your job to figure out what they need. All they have to do is let you know that they need it, and you figure out how to make it happen. That's the only reason we're here as government contractors.